And now you'll be able to hear me. See, welcome again. Hi. This is Elon Shore with the Downtown Center bid, and of course, this is our first live stream, so we got our first mistake out of the way, which is my mic was on mute, so I'll just start over again. Welcome to this new world. Again, my name is Elon Shore. I'm the Director of Research and Special Projects with the Downtown Center Business Improvement District. And I'm here in downtown LA at our offices, and I'm excited to welcome you to our first YouTube live stream for this office tour. And a little bit of housekeeping, just want to mention, if you have questions, we will have time for questions at the end. So please make comments in the comments, and we'll try to get to your questions. And with that, I want to get into the content as quickly as possible. So let's have a look. First of all, I want to mention we just released our new office guide, DTLA Works, a guide to the future of office in downtown Los Angeles. And this is sort of the foundation around which this tour is structured. And this is the fourth revision of this report, but it's the first one we've done since the pandemic, and we really felt like we wanted to approach it from a new perspective, and we thought about what are the key questions that office users are asking when they're looking for space. And we broke it down into what kinds of properties are available, what are the different neighborhoods, what are the neighborhoods like, what other companies are there, my competition or my peers, and how am I going to recruit talent. But we began with really looking at the future of work and putting forward some ideas on how downtown LA fits in with some of the ideas of how the work is changing, it being more flexible and hybrid. And I'm going to show you a little bit of that as we go through the tour. In addition, we really try to profile the main property types we have in downtown, which are our Class A office towers, our extensive inventory of historic properties, and the industrial conversions that are really taking hold in the Arts District and beyond. As you'll see, we look at it this way because when we look at the geography of downtown, we see these clusters forming, the Class A cluster in Bunker Hill in the Financial District, these historic properties through the historic core and into the Fashion District, and then with the industrial mostly being out in the Arts District. In the report, we have several case studies. We've incorporated some of these into the tour as well on Class A and historic and industrial. And looking at specifically what are some of these property owners doing to reposition or position their properties for the future. Then we look at these different geographic clusters in a little more detail because the property types do cross over. And in each one, we're trying to give a sense of what's the environment like, what are the properties there, what sorts of amenities are you going to find there. Now, we only put highlights in the report on our website at downtownla.com. We have an extensive list of the amenities, dining, shopping, wellness that are available in downtown. So definitely you'll want to check that out as well. Then we look at the different tenants, and we've talked a lot in the past about how the tenant mix is changing dramatically in downtown. We still have those traditional tenants, the lawyers, the real estate, the finance, but it's being supplemented with a whole range of more creative industries, also with architecture, engineering, and you can see that on this map when you go through the report. We really felt that in looking at these different sectors, we wanted to highlight what those office users said. Why did they choose downtown LA? What was important for them? So we go through all of the different sectors. And then finally, we look at the talent question. What are some of the advantages that downtown offers in terms of being able to attract talent? So that's the report, and you can, the link to the DTLA Works homepage is in the description, so you can check that out. You can download the report. You can also take the tour that we're about to do, and you can do that yourself, and I will just get back to the start of the tour. This is our DTLA virtual platform. We launched this last year. We started working on it at the start of the pandemic and really felt like we wanted a new way to tell the story of downtown that allowed us to do it virtually, that allowed us to do it to anyone, anywhere in the world, very easily, and to really give that context and picture that we like to do. So again, you can take this tour yourself. that's really the best way to do it. And I'm only going to show a few of the highlights because we don't, I could probably go for an hour and a half by going through all of these. It's really quite dense. We also have a more broad property tour that you'll find on our website. So this is where we start with the different stops that are on this tour. Each of the stops has multiple venues. Each of those venues in this case represent a different office property or related property. Now I'm going to skip over Bunker Hill, not because it's not important, it's absolutely vital, and that's why I just did a video on Bunker Hill about a couple of weeks ago, so you can find that at our YouTube channel. And please, as the YouTubers say, please, we would love it if you like this. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We will be doing more and more of this type of content as we go forward. Also in the comments and beyond, please let us know if you have any suggestions for how we can improve this, what we can do. We really want it to be interactive. And I also want to say we designed this platform to be something that real estate professionals could use to help show off the properties in downtown. And I hope you'll get a sense of that as we go through. But we're going to start in the financial district, which, as I said, this is where we have the highest concentration of these Class A office properties. But as you'll see, it's not all that we have there. So the first thing when we start is to note that this entire platform is built on these 360-degree high-resolution panoramic images that really we feel gives that a good sense of perspective. It allows you to have a consistent frame point of view, but also to really see how this all fits together. Also in the platform, so you can zoom all the way in, you can zoom way out, so you have a lot of flexibility in how you look at it. These markers, these are points of interest. So for example, Figget 7th is one that we often highlight. This is one of our two major retail centers in the financial district. But I'm going to begin with talking about three different office properties. And the first one is City National Plaza, which is owned by Commonwealth Partners. It was notable for Gensler's office. They completely redesigned this old bank that was in the center there. But what I want to focus on first is this outdoor plaza. Now, if you had been down here several years before this was all pretty much empty and barren. There wasn't anything there. And Commonwealth Partners very smartly, several years ago, said, part of the downtown appeal is about getting outside. It's about getting away from your office, getting out of the building, and being able to enjoy all that downtown has to offer. And they said, we have this great space. Well, they completely redesigned it for being a place where people can gather and sit. They added in this great coffee bar. And if you go by there anytime during working days, there are people just enjoying the opportunity to be outside, to sit, and sometimes to have meetings. And as we come into this post-pandemic environment, I think that's a key sentiment that keeps getting repeated, is the idea of getting outside, having space, having places for people to go, so that you're not bringing workers into the office and just sticking them in the office. There's opportunities for them to enjoy everything that's around. Next, we're going to go to 444 South Flower. And this is an example where they've well, first of all, I want to mention, this is a property with tremendous outdoor spaces, and the owners, Core Trust Capital Partners, have remodeled all of those spaces, again, with this idea that give people spaces where they can get outside, get away from the office, and enjoy what downtown has to offer. They've also done something very cool, which is bring the outside in, and that's here at their Workplace Innovation Lab. So here on the right-hand side, those are windows that are open to the outside. The sliding doors that you see there, they allow it to be weatherized out there. But essentially now you can sit in an office building and have the outside air come in, really sort of refreshes and improves the ventilation. And I believe they already have a tenant that wants them to include this in one of their spaces. So we had the improving the outside, then we have, we're gonna bring the outside in. The next property we're gonna look at, which is the one that's the most recent sort of development, is the US Bank Tower. one of the iconic buildings in Los Angeles, in downtown. And it was purchased by Silverstein Properties last year, and they've begun a $60 million capital improvement. I'll just mention Silverstein. This is the first property they've purchased here in Los Angeles. They own quite a lot of office in New York, and I guess when they decided to come to Los Angeles, they really wanted to make a splash, and so they went and bought the most iconic building they could. Now, this renovation covers more than just, it covers the entire building. They are looking at changing some of the offerings they can do with their different floors. They are building a new meeting space, but I really want to focus on the lobby. Because if you've been to US Bank Tower, you know that the lobby right now is, the best way I can describe it is it's pretty sterile. It's a big open space with nothing much there. Now, what Silverstein wants to do is, again, bring that outside feeling in and make it, as you can see here, almost more like a hotel lobby. Not a place that you just pass through to get to your office, but a place where you want to sit and relax and take a moment and enjoy. They're planning to have a market and a coffee bar, newsstand, all of this stuff to kind of keep that area active and engaging so that as you come into the building, you really feel like you're still in that downtown environment. So next, we are going to jump over to the Pershing Square stop and look at a couple of these properties here. I'll just mention, Pershing Square itself is undergoing renovations, and we just learned this week, I believe, they've got permits to start some of those improvements to try and make it just a more accessible space, a more open space. As you can see in these renderings, the walls have pretty much been removed so that it feels more like a park instead of whatever it feels like now. Here I'm going to talk about a couple of the historic properties. I want to start with the Cal Edison. This is owned by Rising Realty Partners. They are one of the local owners. They kind of kicked off a lot of stuff with attracting new tenants with their work at Pac Mutual. This is one of their newer properties, and really just an architectural gem brought back to life. You see this lobby and some of the features that it has, and you see that and you think, well, this is, it's old, but now we go into one of their tenant spaces. This is Jurdy Architecture that just moved to downtown a couple of years ago. Very contemporary look, really modern, bright, beautiful space that you can build in these historic buildings with this great character and these, they say the tremendous bones that it has. Next, I want to look at the Pershing Square building, and this is a great building. This is really, in a lot of ways, speaks to some of this new thinking better than almost any, because in this case, you have this historic building with one of the best restaurants, in downtown on the roof, and great views at Perch. And then you have Mrs. Fish, which is a bar on the ground level. What's interesting is some of these pictures that I have here. I just want to make I got from the property yesterday and uploaded just this morning. It's one of the great things about this platform that we've designed, which is it's very flexible and adaptable. So if there's new material, we can get it up there really quickly. For example, we just got all of their leasing materials. One of the great amenities at this property is actually you can have access to the Perch rooftop during the day before they open. So you have this great rooftop outdoor space for company events or things like that. So next, we are going to move over to the historic/fashion stop. This is sort of historic core and the fashion district in downtown. We have several properties here. I want to focus on, well, I also will mention these. This is, again, an excerpt from the report. We wanted to sort of incorporate it, show some of the highlight amenities in the area in a way, bring it all together. The California Market Center, this is 1.8 million square feet of office space. And from the time it was built in 1963 until very recently, it was really almost a fashion industry space for designers, for showrooms, things like that. Brookfield Properties, they are the largest property owner in downtown LA, one of the largest in the world. They purchased this and have completed a major renovation, completely overhauling the entire property, again, to try and attract these creative and in this case, fashion tenants. And they've already landed their first major tenant, which is Adidas, which will occupy 107,000 square feet. That was a big news for this property and big news for downtown. Now, I want to show you, though, one of the things that is interesting about this property is when we turn the camera around and we look over here, Brookfield owns a lot of these buildings. They own 7 of these high-rise towers here in the financial district in Bunker Hill. But this is their first foray over into the fashion district in the historic part of downtown, and really, I think, sets the stage for the creation of a new hub of creative tenants and creative activity here at the Broadway and Olympic, in that area, where we have a lot going on. We have new hotels, other office properties coming in as well. One of the other properties that has just been put back out there is 7 Main. You may know this. This was the former Dearden's department store. And really, again, I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but outdoor space, open areas, this industrial kind of historic industrial look is really what a lot of tenants are looking for these days. And as I'm hoping to show here, the downtown's inventory is full of these types of properties. Next, we are going to travel over to the Arts District. And really quickly, I'm just going to show you this is looking to the south. And immediately, you see the different kind of urban geography of the Arts District is very industrial, low-rise, in this great mix of industrial uses, now with these new office uses. So, Warner Music has their headquarters at the Ford factory. Produce LA, this property just completed construction, is available for lease. And then at Row DTLA, 2 million square feet of office space that is just a great campus environment. And probably do a whole tour on that one at some point. But now, but I do want to look Arts District North, which is essentially looking just in the other direction. First of all, to show this this proximity that you can see when you look at this, looking to where the financial district Bunker Hill is to the Arts District. And we always talk about how these two are sort of yin and yang to each other. They very much feed off of each other. At Mateo is a really interesting property that began life as a retail project. The idea was to bring this sort of retail center into the Arts District, which doesn't have one like in that size. Well, over time, that sort of changed, and it shifted over to be more of an office sort of play when the things shifted around. And today, it's actually something even more interesting. So first of all, just to have a look at what's great about this. It's new construction built in that industrial style, trying to recreate the environment and really fill in with new projects that complement the area. Lots of outdoor space. But now the main tenant, and when I say main, I think they occupy about 95% of the building, is Spotify. And it's not just office spaces, but what they have created here is something called Pod City, which is going to be the largest podcasting hub in, I believe at the moment is in North America. They have 16 podcasting studios, as you can see here. They have recording studios, they have screening rooms, all of this stuff, and really hoping to bring kind of the influencer culture into this facility and into the Arts District. And I think that's going to be really exciting as they get going to see how they continue to use this space. So with that, I'm going to wrap up our tour. And again, I want to say, please have a look at this yourself. It's really enjoyable to just go in. You'll get the best visual experience doing this on your desktop. And again, please let us know if you have comments about the platform, ways we can improve it, things we can do. But now I'm going to check on our Q&A and see if anyone has asked any questions. So, will you soon include the Beaudry in the UI? Yes. So, here, let me go. So the question was, this is a good one, is that we have these panoramic images that are produced for this, and we try to keep them up to date. But one of the things that is at this point not there is, this tower right. Oh nope. Let me go back to the virtual tour. Is this tower right here, which is now topped out at about this height around where the towers are. So we will be updating that one shortly. That is Brookfield's new residential tower that they're building basically on the site of Figget 7th. Next question. Someone, a rowing studio that would love the opportunity to inquire about potential space to move into. By all means, give us a call. This is something we're happy to help with. Probably when it comes to finding retail space, we would refer you to one of our great retail brokers. But at this point, that is, we'd be happy to help you. So I'm going to check if we have any more questions, but I don't see any. So let me just get us back to our DTLA. So this is the DTLA Works homepage. This is where you'll be able to download the full office space guide. We have a lot of the content from the report in here, many of those quotes, maps. You can also, again, you click right here, you can go see this virtual tour that I've just been providing. You can explore it for yourself. And again, as I say, please, if you've enjoyed this, we would love it if you would share it, if you'd like it. Let us know what we can do for the future. Maybe we can try some different types of content. And with that, I think we will, well, let me see. Do we have any more questions? Let me see. Do we have any more questions? John? Oh, okay. What are we doing for marketing and promotion? It was the question. We are, as I say, we are starting this out. This is a new adventure for us, but we've done mostly on social media. We also, that's a good point for me to mention, we have our mailing lists. So please make sure, go to our website, downtownla.com, and make sure to sign up for the Econ Dev mailing list, for our DTLA Insider list. That way you will get updates on all, not just what I'm doing, but all of the things that are going on here in downtown. What is going on with the Pershing Square upgrade plans? Pershing Square, they are starting work. So some of you may know a few years ago they had this design competition for a massive overhaul. That is essentially, I believe it's now phase 3. Phases 1 and 2 involve dramatically improving the existing park by, again, removing some of those barriers, removing some of the driveways, and making it connect better to the street and to the area around it. And I think it's going to be a much more enjoyable experience. And the idea is basically to have that completed before 2028, which, if you don't know, is a big year for downtown, big year for LA, and that we will be hosting the Olympics at that time. And downtown is slated to play a major role. Oh, will they bring back the streetcar trolley? The streetcar, that project is still moving forward, and we've had some updates on it. I don't know the exact status at this time, but it is something that we know is not, I mean, it hasn't been abandoned, it is still moving forward. There is work being done on 7th Street. There's a 7th improvement project being done, and that is part, in part, is intended to create space and lay the groundwork for the streetcar. So that is still planning, in the planning stages. That will be coming soon. So with that, we said we were going to try to keep this to about half an hour. It has now been about half an hour. So thank you so much for coming today. I hope you've enjoyed this. As I said, once again, please like, share, and subscribe. And we hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much.